Your referee in charge of the action when the cage door closes, Mr. Basil Bam Bam Maju.
Bam Bam in there for this bout between Cantu and Gimble, and we are underway with our second fight of the night here at AKA 28.
Early on, Cantu looks sharp, nice, strong stance.
Like we touched on earlier, when you have a layoff, it all depends on what you're doing in the meanwhile. If you're training, if you're working hard, guys can show a lot of improvements in that time. Their game can change.
Well, an interesting matchup here because you've got the debut of Gimble, you've got the long layoff for Cantu. So for both fighters, it's been a while since they've been in the cage, the first time for Gimble.
Gimble having a hard time getting started out here. Cantu doing a good job of keeping guessing. Started in the orthodox stance, and now he's in the southpaw position. Again, we're seeing those kicks to punches really work and pay dividends.
Spinning attack there from Gimble. So about 1 minute into this opening round.
I like that Cantu kind of has a game plan of throwing those kicks to the legs early on. If you're going to do that, you've got to start early on in the fight in order to rack up that damage.
I imagine Cantu kickboxes quite a bit. He looks like he's well polished. Checks the kick there from Gimble. And a lot of times these guys who are well versed in kickboxing, they'll come out and they'll just probe you with kicks, see if you're checking, see if your defense is sound. So far, Gimble having a hard time.
Gimble searching with that right hand, unable to connect. There's a nice right from Cantu.
Lead right hand, again, coming right after a kick. Gimble's not doing anything wrong. He's defending the kicks. Cantu just doing a good job of finding his spots.
Well, Gimble caught that kick and then lands a flurry.
Gimble's doing a good job of keeping pressure here. Nice right hook hits Cantu right on the temple.
Yeah, and that's what you've got to do with someone who throws a lot of kicks at you. You've got to close that distance. You've got to look to close that distance after the kick, after you've caught it, whatever, and stay on them so they don't have room to kick you.
100%. This is a great adjustment here by Gimble. But he's got to be careful. Cantu is still dangerous, and his eyes are open. These shots aren't landing clean on him.
Nice knee up the middle.
This is a great fight, guys. We've got a brawl going on here in the opening round between Cantu and Gimble. You can see the blood starting to leak from the nose of Gimble, but he's landed some big shots of his own.
He absolutely is, and this is just the type of fight he needs to make it. A little dirtier, not as technical. Get in his face and make Cantu fight. This is a much better fight from Gimble.
About 20 seconds remaining here in this opening round. It's been back and forth. Cantu looked great out of the gates. Gimble did a great job.
Knee up the middle. This is bad. Gimble's got to do something about this clinch, because if not, Cantu's going to eat him up there all night.
Another good left hand from Gimble.
Wrestling exchange, who's going to end up on top?
Nice strap from Gimble, though. Cantu trying to score the late takedown and really wasn't able to get it. Toss-up round, huh? Jeez.
Yeah, I do not want to be the one judging that round. Back and forth, really out of the gates. Cantu looked good, landing the kicks early, had his range, and then it felt like once Gimble got inside that range, he started letting it fly.
Yeah, he definitely seemed like he made that adjustment in the middle of the round and was able to close the distance. And I liked how he looked on the cage.
Yeah.
It looks good to have your opponents back in the cage.
Yeah, and he's putting pressure, and he's doing it reasonably intelligently, not just trying to wade in. He's finding his shots, throwing them from different angles, uppercuts, hooks. Good stuff. Great adjustment from Gimble. I'm really happy with you, and you said it. It was an adjustment that he made.
Great adjustment there as well. And I'll tell you what, shout out to Luke back in the truck with those replays. I'm loving the new replay system we have here at AKA. I think those graphics look amazing. Shout out to Luke and everything that they do.
Upgrades.
Yeah, we continue to upgrade here at AKA, and we give you fights like this one between Cantu and Gimble. Looking forward to this second round, guys.
Let's see if Cantu can get his range again.
Both fighters slowed down just a bit at the end of that first round.
Nice little feint from Cantu. Just picked up that leg. See what Gimble's going to do. Double jab. Big right hand. Gimble's savvy.
Yeah, I think Cantu has got to stick to, not throwing those big punches and being the more technical fighter if he's going to pepper.
He's got to keep his back off the fence too. Gimble
likes
to
a huge
knee right up the middle.
Gimble's definitely rocked.
Listen, Gimble's tough, but that knee definitely put him on you-know-what street.
I mean, that was right on the chin.
Oh,
Another.
looks like another one.
Hey, if Cantu's smart, he gets back into that clinch because Gimble really has no answer for it. He's not pummeling in and finding position, and Cantu's bringing those knees right up the center.
Well, I'll
Nice
tell you
team.
what, credit to Gimble for being able to weather the
Absolutely.
storm. Those are two big knees, especially the first.
What a stud.
Absolutely. He's just got to be a little bit smarter, charging in. He's got to have his guard up because those knees are coming.
I think the adjustment here would be stay off the center line. When we get in that clinch too, beautiful work here by Gimble. This man is all heart.
That chin of
Good
Cantu a
body
little.
shots there.
Again, those knees though coming right up the middle. Gimble just doing his best to fight out of it.
That was a huge left hand from Gimble trying to pour it on here.
It looks like Cantu's trying to get that clinch, but Gimble is not letting him. I'm liking those shots to the body.
Some guys can just fight, and Gimble puts him away. What a beautiful performance by Gimble. I really think he was at a disadvantage technically, but that's why fighting's so beautiful. That's why it's so great.
He definitely fought the fight that he needed to fight to win that, and that was beautiful. The adjustments made were there.
Made it a dirty fight. Made the adjustment.
He
Again,
took some hard shots,
I think
but he made
Cantu
the right
was the better
adjustment.
guy, more technical, but Gimble took it to him, made it a battle of heart, and came out on top.
Well, I think you're right. That's the heart of a Marine, right? He really was tested there in the middle of that second round. Ate a huge knee.
That was a nice uppercut
36-year-old
we just
man.
got shown. That uppercut saved him from the knee, and then he was able to follow it with the right hand.
Whenever Cantu was able to stay at range, he was winning this fight, right? Working from the outside. Anytime Gimble got inside of that range, he really landed some huge shots and then finishes it off with a knockout in round number 2. What a freaking brawl.
What a start to the night. Let's keep that going.
Yeah, let's keep this momentum going. These have been great so far.
Hey, I want to see Gimble in here again.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee is calling a stoppage to the action at 1 minute 29 seconds in the second round. Declaring your winner, Lieutenant Dan Joshua Gimble!
Lieutenant Dan stands tall here at AKA 28. I mean, that is a hell of a debut for Joshua Gimble.
Definitely a memorable fight.
We can definitely walk away proud of that one, I'm sure. Larry Maxon, Steve Jones, and look, he's even got Kobe in his corner to be fighting later on tonight. Can't wait to see that one.